The library is my best friend. We met each other when I was maybe 11 years old, and we have been inseparable ever since. I have gone to my local library, which at the time was around the corner from my house, and I would get out tons and tons of books. I remember the first time I bought 10 Harlequin romance novels home. My aunt who raised me looked at me and said, "You're not going to read those books." And to her surprise and amazement, I read them. And let me tell you, back then, when I was much younger, I was a horrible reader. I could not get through a complete page without stopping and stumbling over every 3 words, every 4 words. I didn't know the definitions. I didn't know what the words meant. But let me tell you, when you put certain things in a book that a person wants to read and understand, they will put forth all the effort in the world. And what I mean is, I wanted to understand what was going on romantically between these 2 characters. Why didn't he like her? Why was she upset with him? Well, the only way I can understand is by getting a dictionary and reading. And let me tell you, it took a long time to get through the first page, to get through the first chapter. But at that time, I had nothing but time on my hands. I was a little girl and I wanted to know what adults were doing. Why were they kissing? What did that all mean? So, for me, I took the time and I learned to read. And that skill has improved my life, has opened so many doors. I understand, I comprehend what I read, and comprehension is very important. There are a lot of people that can read the words but do not understand the meaning and the message behind the words. And I say all that to say that those of you out there who want to be writers of any kind, whether it's romance writers, whether it's suspense writers, whether it's nonfiction, whether it's fiction, whatever the case, there is a book that I'd like to recommend, and it is called Literature, Structure, Sound, and Sense. And I have the 3rd edition, and it's by Lawrence Perrin. And let me tell you, this book is amazing. This book breaks down denotations and connotations, metaphors, different points of view, omnipotent, first, second person, third person, is just amazing. And I think every author should have this in their library. I'd like to also mention that there are several books that I have and I've had over the years. This particular book I purchased in, I want to say, the 80s. There's another book that I have that I've mentioned on many occasions, How to Write a Romance and Get It Published. That book I bought it in 1983, and that book is with me. I bought a cleaner version of that book because the original was marked up, the front cover was missing, pages was missing. It had definitely been used. But I just want to say there are certain books that you're going to keep in your library forever. And this is one of them. And I mentioned How to Write a Romance and Get It Published, How to Write a Romance for the New Market. Joanna Lindsey, I have her books, and I just thought she was a phenomenal writer. So I keep her books. There are certain African books that I want to hold on to, like Weep Not My Child by James Ngugi. And I just think that from time to time, we as authors need to go back and refresh our memory on structure, on style, on prose, on our favorite authors and why we like them, because with time and with age, you forget some things. And sometimes you even get comfortable as a writer and you start taking shortcuts. But with writing, you can never do that because you owe so much to your readers and you want to give them the best that you can. So as always, thank you for joining on my channel.